Welcome to the telethon. Again, this is the 8 to 9 hour. As you can tell if you look at your clock, it's 8 o'clock. So we want to give you the grand total right now. What's the grand total, Laura?
$1,080, which is, I think, probably a record for the few hours that we've had. We're doing really well. We're really pleased with that. And we would still like to give you the number. It's 927-6404. And if you'd like to call, don't be afraid. You can still win. Even though we have a lot of money, there's still a lot of things that you can win.
Right. Well, it's not, you may be deceived. This really isn't the Home Shopping Network this evening. Our main goal is to raise money for tapes and equipment and things that we need to maintain our operation here at WRCH Channel 2. So, it's no big deal. It's not like you're coming in here. It's not like an auction or anything. We just want to reward the people who support us the most. That's all we want to do. Coming up in this hour, this is the sports hour. We have a taped interview with Kane Davis and also a taped interview with Jeff Hostetler. And a
lot of people are really looking forward to that. That was a pretty big thing for us. So.
Right. A lot of people want this football that has Jeff Hostetler's name on it. And this is going to be the climax of a lot of our giveaways. Is this hour, because we've got so much stuff on Jeff Hostetler, and he's really been talked up by, we promoted him on the radio and in all our commercials, and someone is going to take this home tonight.
And without the autograph, the football's worth $50, so.
Right, yeah, Raider Athletic Club gave us that. We mentioned that earlier. Something we haven't done for a while is thank a lot of the people which have helped us directly with the telethon. Jenny Parsons did the set that you see. Usually
these are really nice. It looks wonderful.
Right. Usually we're not in jungle here, but anyways, also Martha Cooper helped us out a lot directly with the telethon. We've got some parents here. Misty Springston's parents are here, chaperoning this evening, and also Chris Lake's parents are here.
We really had a lot of help, and without you guys, we wouldn't be able to have our telethon even. So many people have helped make this possible. We just want to thank everybody.
Right, definitely. And like I said, that number is 927-6404. And I want to personally thank all the people that called in to request my grandmother's doll. It means a lot to me. And we've got some other great giveaways that are kind of the same nature. They're going to take place this hour. So let's go over to the other anchors to talk about that.
Hello, I'm back. Again and still and always will be Andrew Miller, and my partner here who's back again.
I am Amy Whited.
Hi everybody. Yeah, we're going to tell you a little bit about the giveaway for this 8 to 9 hour, the 8 o'clock to 9 hour. This is a rug donated by Meredith Ellis's grandmother.
Yes, and Meredith Ellis is behind the camera.
Yes, she's behind our camera right now, so hopefully she's putting on a big spot. It's a really nice it's a really nice rug, and don't forget, you can call from 8:45 to 9 o'clock, the last 15 minutes of this hour, and put your name in the pot, and whoever we draw wins. We'll have Meredith come out here and draw the name and have her announce the winner. Hopefully it'll be me.
We just got a note in, and Carol Christensen just donated $100.
As you just saw him on here. I guess he was really pleased with the way Justin talked to him, so he gave us $100.
Yeah, he really liked that.
Yes.
He gave us a lot of money. I'd like to say a big hello out to Steve Tipton. He's a great guy. They're all having a little Channel 2 party at his house, and Lisa, his daughter, and her husband Adam are there. There's a lot of people there. Little Brianna Tipton and Katie Tipton, they're all there, and they're having a big popcorn Channel 2 party, so we'd like to say a big hello to them. Call in and donate, guys.
Hello to everybody having parties. I believe Martha Cooper's still having one every year. We'd like to thank some other people right now. We'd like to thank Helicon Cablevision, who basically started this Channel 2 station, and Bernard Griffith, I don't know any of you who know him. He is just amazing. He's an amazing person. He helps everybody. I mean, Ken Gabehart and David Kennison. David Kennison, I see him up here all the time helping us out and working on the new equipment and everything. We'd like to thank Mr. Westfall and all the staff and faculty for all their help that they've given us right now.
They have a lot of patience with us.
A lot of patience. You have to have a lot of patience with people like Amy and I. Anyway, I'd like to say thanks to our crew members too. Jonathan Kirk is the director for this hour. Thanks a lot for letting me on here with you. And Mike Patton over there on the other camera, and as we said before, Meredith Ellis on our camera. We got Let's see who else. Sarah Beth Monk is the titler.
Right.
She's the one that keeps putting up the 927-6404,
Right.
6404.
That takes
as
some work, I'm
April
telling
would
you.
say, yes.
We have phone operators, so if you call in, you're going to be listening to the voice of Andrea Bailey or Chris Lake.
And Chris Lake will be coming in here
Right.
later. I'll be doing a little interview with him about his trip to Florida to see
Right.
the Pirates.
But right now, we're going to go back over to Gerald and Laura, so we'll go there now.
Okay, thanks a lot, Amy and Andrew. Laura and I were together from 4 to 5 on the telethon, and after that I went home and talked to my grandfather, who said that he thought Amy was just really talkative. She was on the television right at the same time that I was over there, so he was really complimentary of her, so she's doing a good job. But we need to intro a tape now, which was... It's actually, I interviewed Jeff Fetty and John Denbeigh, who were originally scheduled to be live guests at this time, but due to scheduling, we just couldn't work it out. But it's a tape about them. They're Coast Citizens of the Year in Roane County, and let's go to that tape. Good evening. To my left, I have John Denbeigh and Jeff Fetty, Coast Citizens of the Year in Roane County for 1996, and also avid bikers. These are the guys who have brought you the Tour de Lake, and from my understanding, there's another new race in the works. Could you tell me a little bit about that, Jeff?
Yeah, sure. We're having a USCF road race here Sunday, April the 14th, and we're very excited about that because for a lot of reasons. Not only does it bring a lot of people into the county, but it will expose a lot of people that really can't come out and see the race at Charles Fork Lake to biking and bike racing. So this is going to be a 50-mile road race through the back roads of Roane County. It will go through Clover and down toward Reedy and up Middle Fork and then back into Spencer. The same day we will have an 18-mile citizens race, so we really would like to encourage a lot of the local people to come out and race in it. Mountain bikes are welcome. We will have a mountain biking class, and road racing is a very exciting sport that's really becoming very popular in West Virginia after the Kmart Classic, and so we're really excited that the USCF folks feel that Roane County is an appropriate site for this race, and hope that a lot of the local people will come out and support it and see what road racing is all about.
Well, that sounds great. What are your hopes for the future on this race? Do you hope that it will expand, such as the Tour de Lake has done?
Well, that's a good question. At this point, we're just really at the learning stage, as we were a couple years ago with the mountain bike race. So I don't really want to make any predictions on how big it's going to get, or if it's going to be an annual event. But I think it will be a great addition to what we are trying to do here with the mountain biking, because the road cycling group will say the same thing about Roane County as the mountain bikers, is that the terrain here is just second to none. So we're expecting probably 75 racers here in a couple weeks, and if we can get that many the first year, we'll be very happy.
Well, that's great. It seems to me that biking is definitely growing, not only in Spencer, but all over the world. But locally, definitely an example is the Tour de Lake's expansion. Could you tell us a little bit about that, John?
Oh, I'd love to. The Tour de Lake will now be known as the All-Sport Tour de Lake Mountain Bike Festival, and it'll be a two-day festival this year, occurring on Saturday, July 27th and Sunday, July 28th, and we are very excited about the prospect of a two-day festival. In addition to the premier race that we have on Sunday, that incidentally last year was the largest single-day race in the West Virginia Mountain Bike Association Point Series, so it has a great reputation. But in addition to that race, we are also on Saturday going to have an uphill climb competition and a downhill race, and these are going to take place again at the Charles Fork Lake venue. And also we hope to have some fun rides for people that just want to go out and maybe tour the course with a guide. And we want to introduce a kids race this year and have some of the younger people partake of the mountain biking fun. And we're also excited to have 2 nationally ranked trials competitors come to Spencer this year. A couple of years ago we had Jason McLean. This year we're going to have Jason and also Jay DeJesus, who's a world-class competitor and also a regular contributor to several mountain bike magazines on mountain biking technique. And they will also be giving a demonstration downtown Saturday. So we just want to do more to showcase Spencer and Roane County. As Jeff has said, people love it, and it at first was kind of a surprise to us, but now we expect the reaction we get from people when they come to Roane County and Spencer. And it's because of the way people around here have treated the bikers when they've come to town, and the volunteerism that they've seen, that we've attracted this road race. And so I think we'll see biking as tourism growing in Roane County for years to come.
Well, that's great. You know, it is no wonder that they like that course so much. I've been out just sort of for fun to ride on. I'm not really professional yet or anything. So, sort of, I'm an amateur in the most amateur of forms. But, you know, how does that trail compare with others? I mean, in terms of difficulty?
Well, I think it would be rated intermediate if you consider all trails available. You can get up into the mountains and get something a lot more difficult and challenging, but in my estimation, a lot less fun. And of course, you can go to a lot of areas where the trails are much easier. But Charles Fork has a tremendous variety of terrain. And as you said, you don't have to be a professional or expert cyclist to enjoy it. The people that have worked so hard under Jeff's direction and Bob Mertz's direction have worked very hard to design a trail system that's suitable to a lot of degrees of biking. And maybe Jeff could expand on some of the new trails that they've developed out there.
Yeah, I think we'd like to hear about that.
Yeah, well, very excited to report that we do have maybe 3 miles of new trails. And again, as John was saying, the variety, I think, is what makes Charles Fork so unique, and these trails are no exception. And probably the best way to describe them would be, how would you describe that one trail? I don't know what probably the best way to describe it is just to invite people to come out and hike or bike some of the new trails. And that's one of the great things about Charles Fork. It's just not for cyclists. The trails are great hiking trails. But we have, like I said, probably 3 more miles of new trails, and have used those trails in some of the winter races that were held out there this winter. So we're excited about getting some more trail maps out around the eastern United States with this addition of trails on them.
Well, in the past few years, just a short time ago, you know, mountain biking has grown so much in this area. I mean, when you think back, and you know, you think just a short time ago that there weren't any trails or anything like that in this area. How did you guys, I mean, what made you decide to do this? I mean, did you just one day get up and say, you know, hey, let's make this a biking, you know, adventure place, you know?
Well, I think it's an evolution as so many things are. I would have to give a lot of credit to my wife, because she got me into mountain biking, and I didn't really think I wanted to mountain bike. But because we ended up buying 3 mountain bikes, we figured we better have a place to mountain bike. And we made some trails behind our house, which is in town, and started doing that. And Jeff was biking at the same time, not mountain biking at that time. And we invited him to try our trails, and he thought it was the most ridiculous thing in the world, I think, as I remember. And but after 2 rides, he thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And when this guy gets turned on to something, look out, you can see what's happened. So riding those trails, we decided, and having ridden other places, that there wasn't any place that we'd experienced better than Roane County. And why shouldn't we share this with other people? It seems like people are always finding reasons to leave Roane County to do something. We thought it was a good chance to come to Roane County. We went before the mayor because we knew Charles Fork Lake had a lot of land. He was very enthusiastic and very supportive, and as a result, and with a lot of hard work from a lot of volunteers, the trail system was developed. We thought it'd be nice to have a little race, and you can see how that's developed. And lo and behold, we feel, without exaggeration, that we have one of the finest mountain biking venues in the East.
Well, thank you very much, and this has been one of the finest times I've had. This is one of the best interviews I've ever had. So.
Well, thanks.
Really, seriously. So anyways, thanks a lot, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for giving us the opportunity.
Well, we've kind of decided on who's going to start. It'll be me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that tape by Gerald Titus. It was a really interesting tape about Jeff Fetty and John Denbeigh. They were really outstanding citizens, and I guess that's why they were picked Outstanding Citizens of the Year for Roane County. It was a really good story, I'd say. I guess you could say.
I have a few announcements I'd like to make. Linda Knight called, and she donated $25, and that is Laura's mother, the other anchor. And Cheryl Wilson called and donated $25, so we'd like to thank those ladies for their donations. That was very nice of you. And we want to talk a little bit about Martha Cooper. Martha is an outstanding citizen, I'm telling you.
She's amazing.
She is just so amazing. She helped us set the background, and she provided the ferns over there with the other anchors. And this morning I was, I think it was this morning, I was listening to the radio, and they wanted people to call in and talk or give money for the track team. They wanted to, you know, for the hurdles and everything, $40 you could give and to buy a hurdle. And before the interview, or before they even stopped talking about it, Martha had already called in and bought a hurdle. I mean, she is just so amazing. She supports everything we do. She's just a very amazing woman. I hope
she's watching right now.
Yeah.
If you're watching, Martha,
we love you, Martha.
If you're watching, Martha, don't forget I'm coming over to your party after I'm done here.
Yeah, and I might come too.
Yeah. Anyway, we got some more thank yous for a few students here. We'd really like to thank Willie Miller for all his help.
Willie, driving his truck.
He transported a lot of the stuff that you see around you. He was just amazing. Jenny Parsons, who is working here tonight, she helped set up the whole background for us and everything. And Tim Crislip produced all the publicity posters that you may have seen through town, and may or may not have. Maybe you saw one on your car window. I don't know.
Bree and I made a commercial that you might have heard over WRCH to talk about Channel 2 and the Telethon. It was a pretty neat commercial. Everybody was whistling at Bree, and she thought they were all whistling at her, and I had to inform her that they were actually whistling for our telethon. So
we'd also like to thank Pat Snyder for helping Chris and Clay Lake and Miss Kirby and a few of the others go down to Florida. She helped arrange that trip, and I'll have Chris Lake coming in to talk to me a little later about the whole Pirates tape, or I mean the whole Pirates organization and the trip that they took down to Florida. But here in a little bit, we're going to have a story that I produced with Jonathan Kirk, and Corey Reed also helped.
Very good story.
And Bruce Hines, I got to put him in there. He helped a little bit too. It's about Kane when he was back here in Spencer.
Right.
It's about his Spencer life, and then a little later we'll get the other part of his life, his part down in Florida when he's actually playing baseball.
And you should listen to the song as this tape plays, because it goes right with it.
Yes.
Very creative.
Yes. Very creative. Thank you. Thank you very much, Amy.
The bench that Laura and Gerald are sitting on was provided by the Roane County Library. We'd like to thank them for providing that bench.
And we would like to thank them for all the years that they've let us come down there and do our telethon there. I'm sure they had a lot of patience with us. The last hour last year, I remember they must have had a lot of patience with me because I was wild. Anyway, we got a little note from the little control room back there that we're going to...
We need to shut up now.
Yeah, we're going to introduce the Kane Davis tape that we've been talking about so
And you're not going to be seeing me anymore. Chris Lake's going to come in and take my place, so I'm supposed to sign off now. But
I hope you won't be disappointed with this tape that we've been playing up to be so great. I hope you aren't disappointed. We're going to go ahead to that tape. You can say goodbye to Amy.
This has been Amy Whited for WRCH Channel 2.
Let's go to that tape.
Makes his 23rd start of the year on the mound. We are underway from the Sally League tonight. First pitch of the contest. The South Atlantic League, Mr. Lyons, not known as a haven for those who seek nice, cool conditions. Gets a little hot in Georgia and North Carolina this time of year.
That's part of that southern hospitality, I think. Heat you up a little bit, make you feel good, and have a good time. That's what it's all about down here.
In fact, as we look around the grandstand here tonight,
Let's go back to 1993 when the Spencer High School baseball team, in its final year before consolidation, made it to the state baseball tournament, in which they were defeated in the first round. But that same day, one of the members from the team was selected 13th round by the Pittsburgh Pirates. That member is sitting next to me right now. This is Kane Davis. Kane, thanks for sitting in and talking to us for a while. And I'm sure the folks out there are wondering, since your graduation in 1993, can you give us a little bit of an update on what you've been doing?
Just playing a lot of baseball, Andrew. But, yeah, I was drafted in the 13th round, and from there I went to Bradenton, Florida, played rookie ball, and then after that, you know, come home for 6 months in the off-season, got in shape, gained a couple pounds, went back, and really did well that year in extended spring, and I think I really showed them something. And so I went to Canada and played in the New York Penn League, and I did pretty well there. And then this year, or last year, '95, played in Augusta, and I did pretty well there. Our team won the championship, so I've been doing pretty well. I'm liking it.
You were the MVP from the Augusta team, weren't you, one of those years?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. What about your professional baseball career has been the most surprising to you?
Yeah, it's actually it's a lot harder work than what I thought it was going to be. You know, when you think about it, you're never around it. You think, man, that's easy. You know, you go out and play a lot of baseball, but there's actually, you know, it's kind of stressful because of all the, you know, the traveling and all the stress on you, wondering, you know, am I going to make it? You know, what are they thinking of me? But it's pretty stressful.
Did you have any difficulty adapting to the travel and being away from your house all the time?
The first year I did, because it was the first year I'd ever been away, but I mean, after that, the second year, I did pretty well, but I mean, I'm getting used to it now. It's just like, it's my job now, so something I got to do. So
did you ever think, like, when you were back in the Little League days or the Senior League days, did you ever think that you would be playing professional baseball?
When I guess every kid in the Little League, who loves baseball or whatever sport it is, when they're younger, they always dream of playing professional, the sport that they want to play. But no, I never thought I'd ever be doing this.
Tell us some of the differences between playing high school baseball and going directly from high school and making a jump into professional without playing any of the college ranks.
Well, I mean, it's like your coaches. Well, you don't call them coach. It's just like you call them by their first name. It's hey Jeff or Bill or whatever his name is. But I mean that's a different thing. But that's really no big deal. But I don't know the differences. I guess high school baseball was, I guess you could say every day you wanted to play every day because it was so fun. I'm not saying it's not fun now, but it's it's more like a job. So sometimes it gets kind of every day. It gets a little bit grueling going out there and every day, and having to sometimes when it's really hot, and it gets to be kind of old. So some days you just pray for rain, but that's really the only difference. I mean, it's still the same game, but that's the big difference. It's just a job. That's it.
Mm-hmm. What's your life like in apart from baseball? Like when you're not playing baseball and you just have some free time. I don't know how much free time you really have, but when you do get free time, how's that spent?
Try to make up for the days that you're playing, but basically just resting.
What are the things that you like especially about playing professional baseball, and do you not like anything about it?
Well, I mean, the one thing you have to like is, the dream come true is in the long run is making it to the major leagues, which is nobody wants to play in the minor leagues all their life, but I mean that's the main thing I like. I like what I'm playing for. But I mean that's basically why anybody wants to play baseball. Everybody wants to play in the major league.
What are your goals, long-term and short-term, for life and career?
Oh well, I mean just right now, just one goal set, and that's just to make it to the major leagues, and then after that, it's just whatever happens.
Once you have made it to the major leagues, we're speculating that you will make it. Will you still consider Pinal your home?
Of course. That's where I was. I've lived there all my life, and that'll always be my home.
Who is the person, or who are the people that you've most admired in your life?
Well, I don't really know. In baseball, I would have to say probably because he was in the game for so long, and because his work ethic was so was so strong, day in and day out, was probably be Nolan Ryan, because he lasted forever, and even in his last years he was just unbelievable. Well, yeah, I'd say because I'm progressing right now. I'm taking it one, I'm progressing each year. I haven't repeated, I haven't been on the same team twice yet, but in 3 years that would, on pace that I'm going now, would put me, in the major league. But you always say, I want to make it sooner, whatever it be. You always say, well, I want to make it sooner now, I want to show them I can do it better than that. But in 3 years, it's fine. That just puts me, hitting every team once, and as long as I don't, repeat the same place, then I'm happy.
All right, thanks for talking to us.
All right.